Hello everyone, this is Meteorologist Marshall Downing, and we have our storms coming for tomorrow. Through the rest of Thursday into Friday morning, we stay rather calm, but Friday afternoon, some showers start to spread out. It's going to turn into rather consistent rain in the afternoon with storm activity through that later part of the afternoon and into the evening. Around midnight, we start to dry out. As soon as we do, high winds rush in. They'll stick around through the weekend. Not much developing in our region for Thursday afternoon, but looking off further towards the north, there's some snowfall. Our next system, which has yet to develop, is going to really start to gain some strength around Arkansas and Louisiana over Thursday night going into Friday before it brings storms towards Alabama and Georgia on Friday proper. We get the northern edge of that range as Friday goes along. So even though we're able to stay nice and dry, we do see clouds building up by noon on Friday. By about 3-4 o'clock, those showers spread further towards the north and to the east. We get some storminess here and there, but it's really going to take a few hours for that to turn up in earnest once we get towards 8 p.m. Then we start to see the reds with some of these cells in south side. That's more indicative of the storms that we have developing. Around 11 p.m., there's not a whole lot left over. It moves off towards the east. We'll probably still have a little bit of storminess to deal with, probably some flood warnings, some severe thunderstorm warnings. But then that will continue off towards the east. And apart from some mountain snow on Saturday, which is going to stay rather light, a lot of us stay pretty dry for the weekend. I think the main risk with this particular system are severe storms. We could see those in a lot of the same places that we saw them last time. I would not expect tornado warnings like we had with this last system, but severe thunderstorm warnings are definitely in the game. And I wouldn't necessarily rule out a tornado warning. It's possible that it could come out. Again, not putting a lot of stock into that, but just keep up to date with us, and we'll make sure to let you know if anything does turn up. We have some wind and outages possible because of those storms, or even just high winds in and of themselves, and flooding is still a possibility. Even though rain with this system is less than what we had on Tuesday, we've gotten so much rain between Tuesday's system and the one we had last weekend that there is plenty in the environment for new rain, which in most places is going to stack up to at least a few tenths of an inch to get on top of and cause some more flooding. It also looks like a lot of the new rain, which stretches from Martinsville up towards Nelson County, is going to be in some of the most flood-prone area down towards the southeast. The flood risk is at a level 1, but across most of our region, and the storm risk does technically get to a level 2 in parts of south side, Pennsylvania, Halifax, Charlotte counties, but further to the north of that, it's a level 1, and there's not much storm risk in the Highlands, NRV, or that northern edge of the Roanoke zone. We do have a flood watch in effect for that southern edge of the NRV into south side and a lot of Lynchburg, because again, that's where some of the higher rain totals are and where some of the higher rain totals have been over the past few days. Looking back at Saturday, Roanoke got 0.7 inches, and on Tuesday, we got almost 2 inches of rainfall. So between those 2 days alone, that's enough to get us pretty close to where the average is for the monthly total, and we're not even halfway through the month so far. Most of us are looking at our highest rain chances stretching between 4 p.m. and about 10 p.m. That's when we have our best chance of flooding. Like I said, after 10, it really starts to wrap up. In Roanoke, there's not much left over by 11. It does linger a little bit longer off towards Appomattox, Nelson, and Amherst counties, but then that will continue off towards the east, and we stay pretty dry for both Saturday and for Sunday. If you do have to get out on Friday, both the morning and even into the middle of the day are pretty okay. It's really as the afternoon gets here that we're looking at some more problematic weather. But try to get home by 2 p.m. and you should be okay for the rest of the day. Winds are going to pick up some on Friday and stay rather high on Saturday, gusts getting towards 30 miles per hour with some up towards 40 on Sunday. And I wouldn't be surprised if 1 or 2 spots even gets higher than that. We don't have much of a fire risk, thankfully, because we have had so much rainfall. But if you do have anything that needs to be taken inside, any trash cans to put in the garage, try and get it done at least by the middle of the day on Friday. This system will come through, and then as this low pressure moves further towards the north and east, it lets all that wind come in. There's a big difference between the low and high pressure that helps to keep us sunny, and that means a lot of wind. And then another low pressure system comes for early next week. This one's likely to bring us rain, maybe a wintry mix, maybe some snow. It's still a ways out, and it hasn't really decided where it wants to land yet. We're a little bit more concerned about the Friday system than we are about that one. Just be aware it's not going to be nice as we get towards that middle part of January. Tonight, most of our temperatures are just below the freezing point, with Roanoke at 31, some 20s in the NRV, and Danville at 28. Friday, our temperatures are able to warm up pretty okay. It's not quite as warm as today, but it's not too far off either. Slightly above average with Blacksburg at 45, Danville at 52, and Lexington at 49. Storm chance in Southside and Lynchburg. That's not there on Saturday. We are still windy, but we are a lot drier with cooler temperatures as cooler air works in from the northwest. Blacksburg at 38, Bedford at 43, Martinsville at 44. On the extended forecast, temperatures are going to take more of a dive as we get past Monday. That's going to bring us down to the 30s with some lows in the teens Tuesday night and only starting to mellow out by the middle of next week. Now I'll check in with Lauren, see if we have any questions. If not, have a wonderful afternoon. All right, looks like the question is, are there going to be thunderstorms in Independence? And most of them are staying pretty far off towards the east. So anywhere technically has a possibility, but even the risk of it getting towards us is a little bit on the lighter side compared to when you look at places further towards the south than us. Especially South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama. That seems to be where the main storm threat is. If anything here, it looks like it's just kind of bits and pieces. All right, anything else? All right, looks like that's everything for now. Like I said, have a good, safe afternoon, and hopefully you stay nice and safe throughout tomorrow before the gusty but calm weekend.